I don't know how this day is going to play out. I was really hoping for an onsen today. It can be frustrating. Yes, the tables have turned on this day. I'm pretty super stoked right now. Well, that turned sour quickly. Sunday. Kids are fighting. We need to do something to get these kids outside and get rid of that toxic energy that they've just been carrying around inside. It's just too much. Away from the video games, away from the screens. Do something real. We just need to go. We need to get out of the house and get going somewhere that's not inside and not in front of the screens. I don't know how this day is going to play out. Well, we've managed to get outside for a few hours. It was a struggle just getting out the door. Everything takes so long. Nothing ever goes as planned, but it's the effort that counts. I was really hoping for an onsen today, but by the time we got out the door, there just wasn't enough time to go further afield. So we settled for a day at the park. It's not a bad thing, all things considered. Yeah, it's tough. Being a parent in the modern age, screen addiction is a real thing. I mean, I have to admit, I'm addicted to the screens myself. So I guess I'd be a bit of a hypocrite when I tell my kids to stop staring at the screen so much and stop playing video games. It's frustrating because I know when I was a kid, I was outside playing, running around, exploring, and nowadays, I guess I make excuses for not doing that kind of stuff. It's too easy just to stay inside and do what you want to do in front of the computer. Hobbies are so wrapped up in technology these days. So I can't fault my kids for it, but I know I can be a better parent. It's my responsibility to make sure that I put my kids in the right situation. That's super important. So yeah, it can be frustrating when I see my kids fighting and playing video games for hours on end. So it's good. We can come outside. Lots of these parks exist in Fukuoka. My kids are a little bit older now, so they don't enjoy going to the park as much, but yet I see them play and I see the smiles on their face and running around and having fun. So yeah, it's definitely something they enjoy, and it's really up to me and up to us as parents to encourage more outdoor activities and get outside and play. Because otherwise, I don't know what's gonna happen with this new generation of kids. Yes, the tables have turned on this day, and we have an opening at an onsen. I'm pretty super stoked right now because for me, on a Sunday afternoon, just getting into an onsen, that was going to be the biggest part of my day. And now we've got it, guys and girls. After we left the park, my wife surprised me by saying, "Why don't we go to an onsen?" I was like, "Hell yeah." Being a Sunday though, with no reservations, it's a little tricky. So you just have to come to the onsen and you just hope that there's an opening. And lo and behold, there was an opening. I am super hyped. Yes, there are a few things I enjoy more than a Sunday afternoon onsen. And hopefully it will all work out. It'll be worth it. Ooh, pretty excited. Yeah, loving the onsen already. Yes. This is what onsens are all about right here. I have not been here before, but it looks pretty cool. I am super excited for this one. I think this is going to be super nice. Yes. This is onsen. I love onsens. If I could pinpoint one thing I love the most about Japan, it's onsen. I mean, how can you go wrong? Hot water, relaxing, geothermal energy. So good. And after an onsen, you get a meal. Even if you're lucky, maybe a beer, something else, who knows? It's pretty awesome. I love it. Guess who got a little red in the face? That's onsen for you. Well, that turned sour quickly. All because of this. Oh, God. Still exists. Bloody no tattoo rules. Well, the onsen excursion took a bit of a sour note at the end. As we exited our personal onsen room, we walked through the hallways and into the dining room area, the restaurant, where we intended to eat some dinner. Now, after I got out of the onsen, I was pretty hot, and my face was red, and I was sweating, so I just walked through with a t-shirt on. And we went down into the restaurant and had a seat, and a man came and took our orders. And I got a weird feeling from him almost immediately. He was very abrupt, almost kind of rude. And when we requested a food item, it was like French fries and ice cream. It was like a set. My wife asked, well, can we have them separately? So, no, you can't do that. You have to get them at the same time. So, okay, that's kind of strange. So we ordered some other foods. And when he repeated back our order to us, at the end of it, he said, oh, and tattoos are not allowed in here. You're going to have to cover up or you're not going to be able to come back here ever again. Now, he said this in Japanese, and I understood it completely. And immediately I was angry. I felt my anger rise right away. And so I said something like, yeah, sure, I understand. I get it. It's discrimination. And I said that in Japanese, and then he mumbled something, and I said, yeah, whatever, discrimination, right? And he walked away. My wife got upset, and we quickly decided that it wasn't going to be a good time for us to eat there. So we canceled the order and we left the onsen. It left a sour taste in my mouth, and my wife was irritated that I had made a fuss about it. I guess the point is that it's a private business. People have their own businesses, and with your own business, you can make whatever rules that you want to make. So in the case of this onsen, there's a big sign in the entrance, and it says, no tattoos in English, and Irezumi Kinji, something like that. So I thought I could go into the private family onsen, and since it's just us, nobody's going to notice. And that was fine. But the mistake I made was not covering up when we went into the public areas. And yeah, I was angry. I was irritated about it because I do feel it's discrimination based on how somebody looks. But I also understand it's a private business, and As a private business, you can make your own rules and discriminate against who you don't want, and all the power to you to do that. So at the end of it, I understood that, I had made a mistake in saying it was discrimination, and I apologized to my wife and to my kids who were anxiously awaiting dinner. But it still irritates me that in this day and age, there's that kind of discrimination that still exists here. And yeah, I accept it because I live here and I take it hand in hand with the good and the bad. But it still irritates me. So, lesson to learn from this is, if you go to a private onsen, cover up your tattoos. And if you want to go to an onsen with your tattoos, then good luck facing whatever backlash you might face, because it still exists. So at the end of the day, we're all fed and we're all happy, I think, I hope. I don't know. My wife is probably still irritated with me. My kids they got food in their bellies, so I guess they're good. But yeah, lesson learned.